I think what you're witnessing right now is the worst nightmare for people that are Ben Simmons supporters, and ultimately people that are just that like to make excuses for underachieving, right? I think really that's where we are right now. We're at impasse, and that's what you see happening. For a long time, Ben Simmons has been able to get one pass or the other, right? I think he found a way to turn himself into the victim in Philly when that thing didn't work out, when he was the one that didn't perform at all. Go look at those playoff numbers. But he found something to hold his hat, to hang his hat on when Doc Rivers came out at the end of that game and made those comments. And then Joel Embiid subsequently, said whatever he had to say. So he was able to get a sympathy vote out there. Then he ultimately got traded after turning himself into an absolute nuisance in Philly. Got himself traded to Brooklyn. Some people were so happy about it. I was one of the people like, what's all this excitement about? Do we not know who these guys are trading for? Then when he got there, at that time, I think it was close to the playoffs, and the Brooklyn Nets won a pretty difficult series against the Boston Celtics, and they needed help desperately, and we were hearing that Ben Simmons could ultimately make a return, right? He himself said he's pretty close. Then all of a sudden, miraculously, he had a back injury. Or he had a back issue, and a lot of us were sitting here scratching our heads like, hold up, if you got a back injury, he has a lingering back injury, how did you pass the medical test in order to be traded? I thought you need to pass your physical in order to be traded. So there was some more foggy stuff happening with Ben Simmons. So he ended up not playing. Then he came into this season after not being in the NBA, after not playing an NBA game for, a very long time, came into this season and he got off to a slow start. But of course, the Ben Simmons apologists were like, he's coming off an injury, whatever it is. So give him some time. There's going to be a time for ramp up. And I understand that because even Kawhi Leonard, he had a ramp up period. But now, after December, January, Kawhi Leonard started rounding into form. But in the case of Ben Simmons, it's been the absolute opposite that we're seeing from Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been an absolute disaster for the Brooklyn Nets, period, end of story. There's no two ways to look at it. No one will tell me that a player that is 6'10", averaging 7.4 points per game, shooting 56% from the field on less than 6 shot attempts a game, shooting 0% from three, not attempting any threes, not even attempting to help your team get any spacing whatsoever in this modern NBA where you have so many stretch 4s and 5s. He's not doing that. He's shooting a career low in 44.6% from the free throw line, something that has nothing to do with your back, something that you can actually work on. Then it's getting you 6.5 rebounds. His rebounding numbers are down. Assist numbers are down. Turnovers are down because I think that also has to do with the fact that he's coming off the bench, but he is still getting you 1.4 steals and 0.6 points. And these people want us to look at this and say, no, it's fine. It's okay. And then you have people out there like Jet Williams, who I like, but just been on this kind of, this emotional campaign that he's been on, just out there defending nonsense. And he was one of the people calling out Jalen Rose for basically saying that Ben Simmons is stealing money. But bro, have you seen his stats? And then when you look at his stats, you're going to turn around and look for a way to make an excuse for this. This means you're trying to baby Ben Simmons, right? But when we were saying this and some other people were saying this, we're like, oh, no, you're hating. You don't understand basketball, all of this, whatever. But now we're getting some articles from CBS Sports that I want to read. And there are two of them that I really want to just get into here. Let's get into the first one here quickly. Ben Simmons leaves Nets loss to Pistons with 0 points, knee soreness, and at least one frustrated coach. The Brooklyn Nets suffered a surprising 130-122 loss to the lowly Detroit Pistons on Thursday night and have now lost 6 of their last 8 games to fall to 29-19 on the season, which puts the team in tie with the Cleveland Cavaliers for 4th place in the Eastern Conference. Head coach Jacques Vaughn seemed to be fed up after the game when he was discussing his players' preparation and performance. The expectations was to win basketball game, Vaughn said. The people who suited up, the people who played, the people who stepped up on the floor had an opportunity to impact the basketball game for their teammates. That's the objective. Every single time we step on the floor, we're expecting to win tonight. That's the goal. Whether it's back-to-backs, I remember 4 and 5 nights, 3 and 4, 4 and 6. Doesn't matter. You do what's necessary, whether that's taking care of your body, the mental part of it that goes on between days, off between games, game day, to get yourself in a position to win. That's why we do this thing. While Vaughn didn't single anyone out by name, it's easy to draw conclusions that he was directing his comments towards Ben Simmons. Vaughn's apparent eye roll when mentioning Simmons' departure from the game due to knee soreness furthers that possibility. I think the goal in my eyes for everyone is for everyone to play every game and to do what's necessary to be prepared to play every game, Vaughn said. There's a certain amount of minutes that each individual played in Philly, some equally tonight. So the preparation that it takes going into that, you just have to give credit to those guys who were prepared to play, ready to play, did what was necessary to get their bodies ready. I think overall the message is, I kind of talked about before the game, we're going to get every guy, and that's including Ben Simmons, to value every possession. Vaughn said on Wednesday night after the loss to the Philadelphia 76ers, to play hard every possession. And just because you play in the first half, it doesn't mean you're going to play in the second half. Now, that's the first article there. I want to get to the other article here. And this is the one where it's even more alarming. It goes, Ben Simmons' lack of consistent aggression leads to late game benching, looming questions for the Nets. Philadelphia, former teammates Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid squared off against each other for the first time since Simmons was traded from Philadelphia to Brooklyn last February on Wednesday night. The matchup was highly anticipated, and the game lived up to the hype as the Sixers pulled off a 137-133 victory over the Nets in front of a raucous crowd at the Wells Fargo Arena. Simmons, however, spent the final 8 minutes and 57 seconds of the game glued to Brooklyn's bench, as coach Jacques Vaughn opted to go in a different direction, in part at least to Simmons' overall lack of aggression and concerning trend that has followed Simmons from Philly to New York. Despite playing over 16 minutes, Simmons went scoreless in the first half against the Sixers while attempting just a single shot. Then it was like someone reminded him at halftime that he's 6'10" and super athletic because he looked like a different player in the third quarter. He came out aggressive and actually looked to attack the basket like he used to do when he was making all-star teams as a member of the Sixers. Simmons attempted 5 shots and scored 10 points in the third quarter. He even connected on both free throws, but then he played just 3 minutes in the final frame before being subbed out, never to return. Simmons is still one of the league's most versatile defenders, but if he can't be relied on offensively, there's no guarantee he's going to be on the court in crunch time. That was clearly the message that Vaughn wanted to get across by benching Simmons down the stretch in Philadelphia. I think overall, it's a message I talked about before the game. We're going to get every guy, that is including Ben, to value every possession, to play hard every possession. And just because you play in the first half, it doesn't mean you're going to play in the second half. So, to the Ben Simmons apologists, where y'all running to now? What are we not understanding? What is the coaching staff not understanding? Jay Williams, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Ben Simmons, I believe, is on a max contract, earning premium dollars to average, 7 points a game? Shoot 0% from 3, shoot 46% from the free throw line. What's the improvement? What's your excuse now? What's the excuse? Because to me, it seems like this has been the reoccurring theme with him over the last few seasons. In my personal view, and I'm not going to come off of it, Ben Simmons is wasting everyone's time. And there are a few people out there that are still making excuses for him. His lack of aggression is hurting the team. Nobody will tell me that you expect, all he has to do is set screens, push the ball up the court, get guys involved into the offense, and play defense, and that's good enough. Well, apparently it isn't. Apparently it isn't. Then you got one bozo clown out there who posted some stupidness out there saying, is Kyrie Irving holding Ben Simmons back? You can just imagine. Just imagine the world we live in. Is Kyrie holding Ben Simmons back? Is Kyrie holding Ben Simmons back? That's the common thread. It is always somebody else's fault. It's always something else. It's never the actual person. This is Ben Simmons for you guys. This is him. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next one. Peace.